Welcome to JN Aquarium Supply. First off, before I even introduce the video, I'd like to thank you all for over 300 subscribers now. I didn't think we'd ever get 300 subscribers. It's awesome. I can't believe it's happening, and we'll just keep on going up from here. That aside, we're going to talk about Multifasciatus today. I love my multis, and that's what we're going to talk about. Stay tuned. So this is my 29-gallon Multifasciatus colony. A very humble little colony I have here in a small tank with some clown puke gravel and sand mixed with it. It's quite an established colony. There are many well-mature fish in this colony, right down to very tiny fish. I believe one of the keys to my success with this tank is this rock you see in the middle, these two rocks in fact, that split the tank into two. Now you might not think that means much, but it keeps down on the spots between possible two more aggressive males that are defending territory, what have you, but I've had the most success whenever I put a rock in to split it into two colonies. And they will transfer those babies from those shells over to these shells. They will move their shells wherever they want them. They're quite fascinating to watch. And they all seem to take part in taking care of the babies. Now, I may not get many more babies in this tank just because I believe it's at its capacity. Some other key features of this colony are some things that some people may not think about quite as much, but I wanted to make sure that the fish were conformationally sound. I didn't want any smushed up faces. That's a sign of too much interbreeding, and I didn't want too many fish that were related. Now that being said, we don't know how many unrelated fish there are in a certain area, but I did take fish from 3 different people. A couple were auctions and one was a private sale, hoping that they were not all related. And I believe we're right, because I've gone through a few generations here now and I still don't have smushed up faces, and everything is still healthy, but I believe we're at our capacity and we won't get a lot more babies. I love watching the little babies. Many of the shells in this tank I just got at the dollar store. They're cheap, like a couple of bucks, and they are of perfect size for raising babies in. I don't put other fish in with my multis. I've kept sips with the multis, and the sips did not fare out well. The multis are very territorial and will defend the bottom of the tank ferociously. I keep fairly low light on the tank. This is, I believe, the only tank in my basement that doesn't have a timer on the light. I just turn it on when I come downstairs. Yeah, some days it doesn't even get turned on. You end up with a little bit of algae like that, but that's great because the fish feed off of that. They eat the stuff that grows in it. I don't mind that little bit. Other than that, it stays fairly clean. I don't have to clean the glass too often, but I don't give it very much light either. As for water temperature, I suggest you keep your water temperature between 72 and 78 degrees. I keep mine at approximately 76, and I've had great success within that range. So if you're interested in starting a multi-colony, I suggest you get multis from a couple of different people. Ask some questions, make sure they didn't come from the same place anyways. Get yourself at least a 20-gallon long. A 20-gallon long will work out great for a colony, and I believe this colony, including babies, I probably have 70-80 fish, maybe more, and that's in a 29-gallon with 2 sponge filters in it. Breeding, get lots of shells, way more shells than you possibly think you could need. Try to have at least some sand in the tank so they can move the shells to where they want to. And just add water, add water. These fish like hard water. The water they're in here has a pH of 8.2 and a TDS of 400. That's my tap water, and I just give it to them straight, and they love it like this. Try putting something in the center of the tank, a rock, a piece of driftwood, whatever you have around, something that you can break the line of sight up from one side of the tank to the other, and that should add some success to your breeding as well. Other than that, add the shells, add the fish, add water, give them regular water changes. As for food, they basically get ground up in a pepper grinder. Watch my previous videos about aquarium hacks. I use a pepper grinder and I grind up Northfin bug bites, I grind up Northfin veggie, cichlid veggie, Northfin cichlid, all in one. I grind it into different size pieces so the babies get pieces that are big enough for them and the adults get pieces that are big enough for them, and I just swish that in the tank. They get the occasional treat of brine shrimp. Other than that, you should be off to a flying start. Fantastic to watch. I'm talking about their behaviors. I'm talking about their community. They have their own community in here, and it's fantastic to watch and see how they interact with each other and care for their young and how successful they are at it. So they even move their homes. They move their own homes around. I didn't put any of these here. They made these two colonies themselves on either side of the rock. Thank you for watching. And if you have space in your fish room or your apartment or your house, wherever you may live, for a 20-gallon long tank at least, give these small, undemanding African cichlids a try. You will not be disappointed and more than likely hooked on them. Thanks for watching. Take care and happy fish keeping.